The core. Seal 2 of 7. Something new arises, but what? Nothing is coming to mind at the moment, because the mind is too cluttered with needless bullshit. Best to spit that shit out. Try to understand the meaning. The vocal effects have changed by being applied to this paper with a pen, only to be changed back when read aloud. Yet the words remain the same from what they would have been had no change been made. Either way, for some, this will all still feel like foreign land. Slight pause while I slip into a state of deep thought. Oh, hello, and welcome back. I was wondering what just happened when I noticed the present moment was slipping away. Somehow I've caught up to you regardless. Okay, now I can feel this. Feeling it releasing inside me, transmuting the soul into an array of vibrant colors, set to live a higher life on the other side. Okay, wait for the calling, where then you'll be allowed to begin. Begin what? Begin the crossover. Find the strength of stepping through. Cross before the calling and suffer the terrible consequences which will come from out of the shadows. Stepping through now. I can see the build-up is being felt. The release is just on the horizon. Coming around, creating a perfect circle of something wonderful. A thought comes rolling up like thunder. Where did Swanee go? He was just here, holding his eyes beneath the light, trying to keep identity under wraps. Well, if you can hear me, thank you for the peace of mind, my old friend. Moving on now. I find myself self-aware that I'm a liar. At least I think I am. I don't know what I am. Confusion sets in. Can you trust me? To at least be confused. If you do, then that means that you trust me, that I'm confused, which I am. Pause in an attempt to change the subject. Some audible stimulation begins numbing my entire body. I feel my life level rise with every new thrust downward. Here I am, on my way, trying to get to the center of the core to see if I'm still alive and breathing. Suddenly I feel the beastly being inside me turn away, just as everything seems to be getting darker. My guess would be that it's due to the buildup of aggression that suddenly jumped tracks and is now headed full speed towards the depot of rage. I try to hear someone telling me my bearings, but I then decide not to listen. Instead, I decide to dig, and so keep digging. Digging deeper beneath the sane borderline that is called the conscious realm. Something occurs. Did you feel the shift? I felt it within the walls of my cranium, holding whatever is still floating around up there in its proper place. Not trying to test the boundaries of the barriers, but still getting to know the surroundings without finding fault anywhere. Though we all know it comes from somewhere, I never cared to waste much time finding out where. I'd rather spend the time finding a solution. If you're hell-bent on finding who to blame, I suggest you blame yourself. More or less because it seems like you're the only one that cares that much about it. Now where were we? Within the puzzle? Inside the math. Buried somewhere beneath the chalky, crumbling rumble that was once our castle walls. Yes, they have fallen. Our home is lost. But there is still hope. I hear it in the tone of that voice. The same voice telling me what dreams are and why our minds have been given the gift to create them. It's been shown to me over and over how this all fits. I've also been reminded that the slightest thing out of place will make it all topple over and down into an abyss leading to silence. Beginning to stray away. Must stay focused. Must listen to the familiar sound of a voice. However, the one I hear now I do not recognize. It's calling out for someone that was lost so long ago. Repetitively asking itself, why? And repeatedly getting no answer. Well, man, what can I tell you? Maybe mention what it is that's dropping. Something is dropping while dripping past the black straight onto the blue. And for what reason? Why ask the question when there's no one around to answer it? Solid point. One I believe you should sit on. Wedge it up there real good and keep it safe until summertime. Only problem is, buddy, we've just started the fall now, falling ever so willingly into the great spectacle that is nothing. And it is coming. You were thinking what? That's right, nothing. Coming to the beginning of the ending now, this last piece is a part of me, but I'm clueless on which part. Still here, though, from where the others had left. Been trying to grasp the concept and turn it into a whole nother reality, to make the unreal real. I know that all the pieces fit. I'm just patiently waiting here for every piece to fall naturally into place and complete the puzzle. Goddamn thing's been taking thousands of years to finish. However, if I've been paying any attention to how it works here, I'm willing to wager, everything I've got, that when we reach the finish, we'll be told there that it continues on. Long pause while breathing deeply and deeply thinking. Well now, let us try this one more time. Let's see how these next pieces are going to fit, and how fitting it is that these pieces tie so much into life. Now, so far this engagement has not gone to plan, for it seems we've already lost a piece, torn and dismissed from the pages of its rightful place, known throughout the whole puzzle as the first piece that refused to fit. Unlike all the rest of the puzzled pieces walking around, separated by space, searching about for the perfect piece to connect with. Depending on the piece, this may happen more than once, connecting by unifying, one by one, until the whole is reached, the whole puzzle. This puzzle would be complete if not for one piece, one holdout, holding out until more sense comes forth to explain everything that wasn't said before. Can't find a reason to play my part in the puzzle if the puzzle's not making any sense. Last time I checked, I was speaking gibberish, saying things like order, class, status, and some other nonsense. I hope this specific puzzle is never completed. If the end result is a beautiful landscape photo of a giant pile of bullshit, then why the fuck would I want to see it? Not a question worth answering. Already moved on to finding a solution, and here I have it. Time to find a new puzzle, one that isn't a sick little game some sect of high-end humans have enjoyed playing over the last few generations. I will not bet anything on anything that is already fixed, rigged to continue the raping of all and every who aren't them. It's okay. We don't need them. We will paint our own puzzle, where we'll depict ourselves thriving, not struggling, excited and happy, not depressed and worn out. A puzzle where when a question is asked, a truthful answer is given, where the mindset is not the capitalistic, how can I get over on you, but the universal mindset of, how can we help each other out to achieve the goal of moving on without the need or want for their security blanket? Does it not upset you to know that since your birth, you've been set up to fail, to fall in line with the rest of the West's slaves who get paid, paying slaves just enough to force the work to continue into tomorrow and the next day and the day after that? And since we don't have much scheduled in the next 40, 50 years, we'll fill our time with work, because it works spending your entire life working a job. When I look at my father's generation, I'm pained to see someone I love brainwashed to the point where they will willingly work themselves into their own grave. And why not? It is what his father taught him, and it's what he taught me. And I followed suit for a time. But I was sent here to defy, cut from a cloth that can't help but question any and all things which appear to be fucking stupid, or any and all things which make no sense. Like spending your entire life getting paid to dig a hole, just so they can put you in it when you're finished. I've heard this before. During the Holocaust, the Nazis would select a few Jews to dig a large burial pit, and then fill the pit with all the corpses. And at the end of the day, when those Jews were finished, the Nazis would add them to the pit. Think about that. It's not every day where we find something which makes the Nazis look more humane and merciful. For the Jew only had to work one day before dying quickly with one bullet to the back of the head. Here, we do not have it so lucky. Here, we do the same shit work over and over and over and over, and they don't even need to waste money on bullets anymore. Here, they kill us with cancer, charging us for treatment all the way to the end. A great man once said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. I'm sure at the time most assumed he meant that it was in scientific terms, not in terms which applied to everything today. His definition was true, better understood and applied to the life of those of us around today. And for those of you who still can't see it, still deny and are unable to see it, the effects of the brain that has been trained without ever being or becoming aware. I hope this puts things in clear terms. Tell yourself if this sounds familiar. Get up. Go to work. Come home. Go to bed. Get up. Go to work. Come home. Go to bed. Get up. Go to work. Come home. Go to bed. Get up. Go to work. Come home. Go to bed. Get up. Go to work. Come home. Go to bed. Get up, go to work, come home, go to bed. Get up, go to work, come home, go to bed. Get up, go to work, come home, go to bed. Get up, go to work, come home, go to bed. Tired of hearing me repeat it? Yet not too tired to continue doing it. I guess you have yet to reach that point of insanity. Often I've pondered the meaning of life. And if you're honestly telling me that the whole grand meaning behind this thing called life is just to work, then I have to say honestly that life isn't worth living. If life is just about work, then I'd rather be dead. The Core, Seal 2 of 7.